Hello and welcome to this video where I want to show you how you can link 3D models of certain objects on OpenStreetMap. And the 3D models are all saved on Sketchfab.com, this website. The reason why I thought it would be useful to add a link to Sketchfab onto OpenStreetMap is that for certain objects like ohm stones or sheela-na-gigs or even high crosses, it adds a lot more information to OpenStreetMap to have that link because these objects are weather worn and they're often in locations that are not really accessible. Like sheela-na-gigs are often high up in the wall of a tower house, and some of the objects are in museums and in private collections, and they're not accessible. The physical object is not accessible, but there have been efforts to scan these objects, especially the sheela-na-gigs and the ohm stones, in photogrammetry. And they're all on Sketchfab. They are projects by universities and by museums to have all these recorded, which is a very good thinking. And it adds more information to OpenStreetMap to have links to there because we have all that information on OpenStreetMap. Like we link to Wikidata where you find more information, and we link to Wikipedia and things like that. And there might be objects in your country, if you're watching from a different country than Ireland, that are worth scanning like that as well. But I'm focusing on Ireland as usual. So let's say I did that for most of the sheela-na-gigs that are mapped on OpenStreetMap, which are only 13, which is very few. And first I thought I would use like a kind of an identifier, like we use with Wikidata. When we link to Wikidata, we don't use the whole link to put into the tags. We just use the Wikidata identifier. And someone has programmed OpenStreetMap in a way so that it converts it into a link. So if we look at this sheela-na-gig here, for example, in County Cork, make that a little bit bigger, you have the Wikidata identifier here, and if I clicked on that, which I won't do now, it would open the page for this sheela-na-gig on Wikidata, which is also why it's important to link only to the specific object and not just to the Wikidata entry about sheela-na-gigs, like it had happened with some of the Martello towers that I had looked at the last couple of days. And then the same with Wikimedia Commons. There's a link there. I'll click on that to give you an idea what she looks like. So it's in a tower house, up in a wall of a tower house, and because of that, you need a really good zoom lens to photograph that, and good weather as well in Ireland to get a good picture of her. And that's not, if you want to have a close look at her, it's just not possible with that picture. So if you have a 3D model, you can turn it around, rotate it, and you can see a lot more detail often in the 3D scans than with the original object that you might not even have access to easily. So it's another open access approach here. And the way I added the links to OpenStreetMap is that I searched for the Sites and Monuments Records number, which I had added before that to all the sheela-na-gigs that are mapped, which is only 12 in Ireland. There's one in Wales, which obviously doesn't have a Sites and Monuments Records number, an Irish one. Thankfully, a lot of the people who have uploaded the 3D models to Sketchfab have added the Sites and Monuments Records number, because it's a good identifier, because it's usually one object, one number, usually. And so you can identify it by that. So if I wanted to add the link, and if I searched for this number on Sketchfab, it would come up here, and it has the townland name, and that's probably the townland it is in now. Not entirely sure, because some of them have been moved to museums and so on, and then there might be two townlands associated with it, the one where it was found or where it was moved from, because sometimes it has changed location a couple of times, and then the townland it is in now. But this is probably taken from the Sites and Monuments record for this sheela-na-gig, and it is still in that townland. It's not the best scan, I think, but it's probably difficult to even get the scan up on that wall. You would have to use a drone, I suppose. The way it is done is through photogrammetry. You take your camera around the model and take loads and loads of pictures, and the app or the program stitches together all the photographs into a 3D model. And I will have another video where I explain how to do that yourself. So we have her here, and then you could take her link. I thought I would just use the identifier, but because that doesn't link anywhere yet, as you can see here, there's the link, but it isn't, well, there's the identifier, but it doesn't link anywhere. So then I decided to use, and I've documented here, URL:/Sketchfab instead, and use the whole link, because that will actually be displayed as a link, and then you can click on that. I don't like that solution because the https://sketchfab.com/3D models is always the same, and it would be better to just have this part here and convert it into a link. But that isn't happening yet, and as long as that's not happening and I want a good data set, I'll have to use the whole URL, which I will have to add to this one here as well, which we might as well do now. So I copy the whole link here, and then I can click on the node here, go into the editing mode. You see it's in this wall there, and add URL:/Sketchfab and paste that, and added Sketchfab reference there, and upload. I have done all the, as I said, I've done all the sheela-na-gigs there are mapped on OpenStreetMap. There are a lot more, but I haven't, they're mostly ones that I've already visited myself, or somebody else mapped, I think, these 3 here in the west, and I've, I think, visited all these here. So I mapped those when I was there, also the one in Wales. And if you have one in your area, or you're on holiday and you're on a sheela-na-gig pilgrimage, and you want to add them to OpenStreetMap, you can do that. It's always good to have the ground truth. And then if you wanted to add the sites and monuments records number, you would take the coordinates. In this case, I'll take this one here. Because it's mapped as a node, you get the coordinates down here, and you can just copy those. Or you could get it from here, right click, show address, and then get the coordinates from here. These have more digits though, usually, which is always more precise. And then you would go to the historic environment viewer, which I talked about in the previous video, and you can paste the coordinates in their search field. You have to get rid of the slash that separates the 2 coordinates. You can replace it with the comma, or you can just not have a separator there, and then search for it, and that should bring you to the location of where it is mapped on OpenStreetMap, which is not often the location they have mapped it at. So their sheela-na-gig is down here somewhere in, I think it's a field or a forest, which is obviously where it is not, but it is in the wall of the tower house. But that's the HEV for you. But anyway, you find the sheela-na-gig, and now that they have labels on them, it makes it even easier, because this is not a very cluttered site, so you only have the 4 dots there. And you click on that and you get the number from here, and please include the hyphen in the end. There can be up to 3, I think, hyphens. The number works, the identifier is CO for Cork, County Cork, and then there's a number string there that relates to the Ordnance Survey paper maps, and then a consecutive number. So this is 005, this is 001, 2, 3, 4. There must be a 4 somewhere, or maybe that's no longer there. Be interesting to know where that is. doesn't exist. Well, maybe there was a number 4 at some point and I don't know, it's not there anymore. So that's how you get the number, and you add it to OpenStreetMap using the ref:/IE:/SMR for Sites and Monuments Records number. And it will be displayed here as well. This is also not turned into a link yet, but I think there are people working on that. So that you click on the Sites and Monuments Records number on OpenStreetMap and it links back to the Historic Environment Viewer, and it jumps to wherever they have mapped it, because it will be a link that is here. Somehow, hopefully that will work at some point. We'll see. So that they don't make permanent links or permalinks to their database. Not for the green dots, they do for the blue dots. But we won't talk about those now. So this is how you can link those to Sketchfab. I'll run this now again just to see if the link is there. Yeah, it is now there, so that's all good. And the same thing you can do with ohm stones. I'll see here. There. Historic ohm stone. So that's quite a few more, and I'm not sure, I haven't added all the Sketchfab links. I have added it for some of them, so there's a bit more to do for me or for someone else. It doesn't all have to be me. I think I've only added it to the ones that have their Sites and Monuments record number, which is not all of them, so I'll have to work on that a little bit more. But it doesn't all have to be done by me. Anyway, thank you for watching. In the next video, depending on which order you watch them in, but the next video I will upload will be how to create photogrammetry models of artifacts with your phone. And it's fairly easy and it's a lot of fun to do. So look out for that video. And thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon again. Slán go fóill!